The corridor outside Catherine's office is empty, silent, a single guard at the far end, barely visible. Inside, the office is cavernous in the dark. Only one desk lamp burns, casting long shadows across mahogany furniture. Piles of files, a cold cup of tea on the edge of the desk, untouched. Catherine sat alone, surrounded by files. Dark circles marked the skin under her eyes. The clock read 9 p.m. Slowly, she reaches for a file, opens it, stares at the first page without seeing it, closes it again. Then, a soft knock. Ben Mackenzie entered, hesitant. "Prime Minister," Ben said, "I'm sorry to disturb you. If this is about Lensley's funeral, the Foreign Office is handling it." "He called me," Ben said quietly, "the night before he died." Catherine's pen stopped. She looked up slowly. "What?" Ben pulled out his phone.
"He left a voicemail. You need to hear it. I didn't know who else to trust."
Catherine took the phone, pressed play. Lensley's voice crackled through. "Ben, it's Raphael. I don't have much time. It was Mortimer, Edward Mortimer. He's going to kill me like he killed Adrian. Tell Catherine. If I don't..." The call cut dead. I verified the timestamp, 10 hours before they found him. Catherine lowered the phone. Her face was unreadable, but her hand flattened against the desk, rigid as stone. "Thank you, Mr. Mackenzie. That will be all." Ben hesitated, then nodded and left.
Catherine didn't move. She sat perfectly still, Lensley's voice still echoing in her skull. She closed her eyes. 1 breath, 2. When she opened them again, something had shifted. The exhaustion was still there, but underneath it, something harder, something decided. She opened her locked drawer, pulled out a card and picked up her secure landline. She dialed. Waited. Then, quietly, "It's me. I need voice analysis on a recording. Verify the speaker is Raphael Lensley. Call me when you have something." She hung up, stared at the darkened window. Her own reflection stared back, tired, alone, but no longer silent.
Rain fell over the quiet churchyard. Black umbrellas clustered around a fresh grave. Catherine stood apart from the crowd, veiled and unmoving. The Prime Minister in public grief, every gesture measured, every inch of her guarded. In the distance, at the edge of the perimeter, Sidney stood motionless and watching. For one moment, Catherine's eyes lifted toward the perimeter, towards Sid. Their gazes almost met. Then Catherine looked away, back to the grave and back to the performance. Sid's expression hardened. She didn't move and didn't leave either.
The last mourner gone, the last umbrella folded, the world returns to itself. Hours later, the black clothes still cling to her. She hasn't changed, hasn't eaten. The report sits on her desk. It arrived hours ago. Voice match, 99.7%. Raphael Lensley. She stares at the words. Lensley was telling the truth. She pulls up Mortimer's file on her screen. Deputy Director General, MI5. Stares at his face. 11 years, all those nights alone, all that silence. She picks up the phone, dials. "It's me. I need everything on Edward Mortimer. No warrants, no paper. Find someone inside who can run it blind." The news cycles come and go. The world moves on. Catherine doesn't. She sat at the head of the table. The Cabinet Secretary, Sir Graham Reed, sat to her left, the Home Secretary to her right, the Attorney General beside Reed, a legal opinion open in front of her. "You understand what you're proposing," Reed said. "The Deputy Director General of MI5. If this goes public, the entire service is compromised." "He murdered my husband," Catherine said. "Prime Minister," the Home Secretary leaned forward. "There's precedent. 1978, a permanent secretary passing intelligence to the Eastern Bloc. MI5 had the evidence. The solution was retirement on medical grounds. The institution survived." Catherine met his gaze. "But he wasn't a murderer." "The principle is the same," Reed replied. "If this goes public, the institution burns. At least this way the service survives, and you stay Prime Minister." "Lensley is dead. Raphael Lensley was killed on British soil with a military-grade nerve agent, and you're asking me to give the man who ordered it a pension." "The alternative," the Home Secretary said slowly, "is you launch an investigation without proper oversight. You bypass the warrants, you go off-book, and when it comes out, you go to prison. He walks free." Catherine looked at the file, at 11 years of silence. "I'll consider my options." The meeting ended. 3 weeks later. Sunlight streamed through Catherine's office windows. She sat at her desk, perfectly composed, the exhaustion hidden beneath immaculate makeup. A stack of surveillance reports sat in a locked drawer. She touched it briefly before closing it. "Prime Minister," an aide said, "Deputy Head Park is here for the security briefing." Catherine's expression didn't change. "Send her in." On her phone, a message. "We need to discuss your recent activities. Tonight, alone. Mortimer." She deleted it. Her hand trembled slightly. The briefing room. Sid entered first. 3 weeks of isolation had left her coiled, guarded. Catherine entered. Their eyes met. The air shifted. "Prime Minister." "Deputy Head Park, thank you for coming." They sat across from each other. Catherine opened a file, budget allocations, safe topics. As Catherine leaned forward, Sid caught something, a small black smudge on Catherine's neck. "You have ink on your neck." Catherine's hand moved to the wrong side. "Other side." Catherine fumbled, missing it. Sid stood, crossed to her, pulled a tissue from her pocket. "Here." She leaned in, close. Her thumb grazed Catherine's jaw. The tissue wiped away the ink. Up close, Sid saw everything. The shadows, the tension, the tremor. And beneath her fingers, Catherine's pulse, racing. Their eyes locked. "How long since you slept?" Sid asked softly. Catherine didn't answer, couldn't. Sid's hand lingered, 1 second, 2. Then she pulled back, returned to her seat. "The personnel reviews. You'll have my authorization by end of day." "Thank you, Ma'am." The meeting continued. The air crackled. When it ended, they parted without another word. Catherine's hand went to her jaw, where Sid had touched her. Sid's hands shook as she walked down the corridor. The garden behind number 10, 2 a.m. A single floodlight caught the wet grass. Catherine had dismissed her protection detail. She had authorized Mortimer's access herself. Edward Mortimer emerged from the shadows of the house.
He surveyed the garden, almost amused. "Your garden is lovely at this hour. You want to do this here?" Catherine did not smile. "You're not here for the garden. If you're worried about being heard, leave." Mortimer's voice shifted, harder now. "Your surveillance operation," Mortimer said. "Bold, reckless. I don't know what you're referring to." "Let's not waste time. You've been watching me for 3 weeks. Financial forensics, communications intercepts. Quite thorough." Catherine said nothing. Mortimer broke the silence. "Adrian Colwyn, Lensley's voicemail. That's what this is about." Mortimer smiled slightly as he continued. "The public already has its answer. Russia. Case closed. If you're about to confess to murder, this conversation is being recorded." "No, it isn't." He paused. "We both know none of your evidence is admissible. I have financial transfers linking you to Varga's network, encrypted communications, travel records near Lensley's death." "Circumstantial. Pursuing this requires you to admit to illegal surveillance. You'd take yourself down just to take me with you." "Your deputy must have helped," Mortimer said. "Deputy Head Park." Catherine's voice turned deadly. "She's not your card to play. She knows nothing. Every authorization, my signature only. I made certain of that." "How thorough." "But if you want to test that paper trail, go ahead." Catherine stepped closer. "The moment you do, I release Alexandrov's archive, unredacted. Your network burns, you burn." Mortimer scrutinized her, looking for a bluff. Found none. Mutually assured destruction. Precisely. "Then we have an understanding. We have a stalemate." Mortimer turned and walked back into shadow. His footsteps faded. Catherine stood alone where Mortimer left her, arms wrapped around herself against the cold. She takes out her phone, stares at it. Her thumb hovers over the screen. Then she dials. 1 ring, 2. "Hello? Catherine?" Sidney's voice, warm against the cold night. "What the fuck were you thinking?" The door hadn't fully closed behind Sid before her voice cut through the silence. Catherine said nothing. Sid's eyes went to the table, the open file. 3 weeks. You've been running this alone. Catherine didn't deny it. Sid crossed to the table, looked at the evidence. "You should have told me." "I couldn't." Catherine's voice cracked. "I thought I could keep you out of it. I've already dragged you into this mess. I couldn't watch it swallow you whole." Sid turned to face her. "Close now. You don't get to make that choice for me. I'm the Prime Minister. I get to make every choice. Not about this. Not about us." I sat by my phone for 3 weeks. Nothing. Then you call at 3 a.m. and I'm supposed to just, what, show up? Forgive you? Catherine met her eyes. "I didn't ask for forgiveness." "Then what do you want?" Catherine's gaze drifted to the table, the open file, the weight she'd carried alone. "I want to know what's right." Sid followed her eyes. "Understood. Reed wants you to bury it." Catherine nodded. Sid's voice softened. "What do you want to do?" Catherine looked at her. "I want to release it, every piece. Stand up in Parliament tomorrow and name him. Admit to the illegal surveillance. Let my government fall. Let them charge me." She paused, held Sid's gaze. "Tell me I'm not insane." "You're not insane, and you won't go to prison." "You sound certain."
Catherine said. I'm certain the public knows the difference between breaking rules to expose a murderer and breaking rules to protect one. Release it. The words landed like a verdict. Catherine looked at the evidence file, then at Sid. PMQs. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. I'll request a personal statement. Sid nodded. She held her eyes for a long moment. Then she stepped back, walked to the door, turned the lock. The click echoed in the silence. You're really going to do it? Burn yourself down for them? Catherine met her gaze. For Adrian. For what's right. Sid took a step closer, then another, standing directly in front of Catherine now. You're not even afraid. Catherine tilted her head back to hold Sid's eyes. Catherine's voice was certain. I'm not afraid of what they'll do to me. She met Sid's eyes. I'm afraid of looking you in the eye, knowing I chose the easy lie. Something broke in Sid's expression. That's what makes me so angry. She grabbed Catherine's face, pulled her in close. You're so brave, it makes me want to hate you and hate me. The House of Commons was full. PMQs on a Thursday. In the public gallery, Sid sat alone. Catherine entered, composed. The session proceeded for 14 minutes. Catherine answered each question with controlled competence. PMQs concluded. The Speaker moved to next business. Catherine rose. Mr. Speaker, the chamber stilled. I wish to make a personal statement. The Prime Minister may wish to schedule that for... With respect, Mr. Speaker, this cannot wait. A ripple of attention. The chamber settled into hush. Catherine's voice carried. I have today referred evidence to the Metropolitan Police concerning the deaths of Adrian Colwyn and Raphael Lensley. That evidence names a senior intelligence officer. I will not name that individual here, that is for the courts. But I will say this. She paused. For 11 years, the institution protected itself. I was told there was precedent. 1978. A spy given immunity, given retirement, given silence. The institution survived. That was the argument. That is always the argument. She looked at the benches. I obtained this evidence through means that were not entirely within legal parameters. I authorized surveillance without parliamentary oversight. I accept full responsibility. I will not ask this House to protect me from the consequences. Murmurs. The Speaker called for order. But I will not accept the institutional silence that has protected this man. Not while I hold this office, not while I have breath to spend. She drew out a sealed envelope. The full list of evidence, the sources, the timelines, it's all here. It has been transmitted to the Met, the DPP and the ISC. It cannot be buried. She looked up. Thank you. The house descended into chaos. In the gallery, Sid sat motionless. The chaos of the chamber faded as Catherine walked through a quieter corridor. Not empty, a few staffers at the far end, a security officer near the door, but far enough. Sid was there, leaning against the wall, waiting. Catherine stopped in front of her, close. Sid's voice was low, rough. Do you have any idea what you just did to me in there? Catherine's lips twitched. That's not very professional. Screw professional. Sid's eyes dropped to Catherine's mouth. I want to kiss you so bad right now. Catherine held her gaze. Then why don't you? Sid leaned in, close enough to feel breath, not close enough to touch. I'm going to stand here and make you wait. Catherine's eyes darkened. That's cruel.
You spent 3 weeks making me wait. Consider this even. The air burned between them. Then Catherine's expression shifted. Quiet. Sid, tomorrow the inquiry starts. They're going to come for me. Catherine's voice dropped. I don't know if I survive this. Sid stepped closer and held out her hand. She squeezed once, soft and certain.
Whatever happens next, I'm not going anywhere.